Oof. It's been a long time since I recorded one of these. I'm on my way home now. I just finished spending the day with my dad. He's staying with my brother in Jersey. And he's probably going to be leaving back to Puerto Rico within a week. You know, because he was only coming here to see doctors and get himself checked out. Possible knee surgery. Good news is, doesn't need that knee surgery, which is great. So he'll be able to go home sooner rather than later. You know, the funny thing is, ever since my mom died, I've been trying to get my dad to live with me, or to live with Steven, or to live close, you know. And you know, I never thought of it from his point of view or his perspective. I was thinking about it from my perspective this whole time. At first, when Mom died, this was just really, really hard on everybody. And it wasn't just me, Steven, and my dad. It was also my aunts, you know, my mom's sisters, my cousins, my mom's nieces and nephews, my mom's cousins, my mom's uncles and aunts that were still alive, my mom's friends and family. Everybody took it pretty hard because we were just all in shock, you know, like surprise. So because Dad's still here, you know, I'm trying to hold on to him for as long as I can. I realized I've been trying to force it this whole time. I really haven't been, like, I haven't been pushy, but in my mind, I've been trying to force it. But the truth is, my father, my brother, me, we all have to be where we are the most comfortable. Because life's too short. Life's too short to be uncomfortable. I'm on my way to the Bronx Zoo tomorrow. Me and Elena will take the boys. Probably the last time for the year until spring hits, summertime. We're a week away from Halloween, and after that, Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas, then it's New Year's, then it's my birthday, then it's Max's birthday. You know, we got a lot of things coming up. So I got a lot of work to do. Things have been kind of, I don't know, stagnant lately. I'm at a place in my job where I'm not really finding the joy in it anymore. That was one of the things I tried to convince myself of. You know, when I stopped acting back in 2014, and I just focused all my energy on trying to get a job. You know, a real, honest-to-God, hard-working, human being, blue-collar job. Enough to sustain me and my wife. And then when we had our kids, then it was even bigger pressure, you know? Now it's about taking care of all of us together. I went through a lot of jobs, man. You know what I mean? Because straight out of high school, I went to community college. I got a job at the community college. And then I got several different jobs within the community college. And I kept acting while I was doing it. Doing shows and working and doing shows and working. But still in the same environment, you know? And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I spent 14 beautiful years at LaGuardia Community College. It's a big part of my life, and I'll always cherish it and always be grateful for it. I'll always be upset about how I left, but I did make my amends with my old boss. And you know what? He never held anything against me, man. He was good. He is good. But since then, I had to try to find a job, like that. I mean, I tried to find theater jobs, but they're never solid. They're never constant. You work 3 months, you're off 3 months. You work 6 months, you're off 4 months. It's just all over the place. When I got to working at Amazon, I was just like, wow. I really dug it. I really enjoyed my job. I love being physical. I love being part of a team. I love, having a goal from the beginning of the night to the end of the night and achieving that goal. It was a good feeling. Rough road. It even has a sign that says rough road. Oh boy. I want to get out of this road. Noisy. Can you hear that? I'm sorry. Uh-oh. I gotta get in front of this truck. This sound is killing me. Let's see if I can do this safely. There you go. There you go. Now we're in a good place. I got 15 more miles to my next exit, and then after that, I'm 7 minutes from home. I haven't posted in a while because I've been, well, first of all, I've been physically busy. I've been working, taking care of the house, taking care of the boys. You know what I realized? I realized I haven't been taking care of my wife. I haven't really been paying attention to her. And it's not because I don't want to, it's because I look at her and I admire how strong she is. Everything that she does for the boys, for our family. She gives everything. And she's doing her part. So I fall into the pattern of doing my part. But when that happens, I forget to pay attention to her, because I keep thinking she's an adult. The kids need my attention. My job needs my attention. But my wife, she can handle things. I can handle things. We don't need to give each other attention. That's fine. Let's focus on our responsibilities. Let's work hard now so that later on we'll be able to rest easy and just spend time with each other. I'm waiting for something when I should be trying to have it now. Sometimes my kids ask me to play with them, and it's right in the middle of me fixing the sink, or doing the laundry, or taking out the garbage, or going to walk the dogs. And I always tell them, not right now, I have to take care of this. And I keep telling myself that one day they're gonna understand. Because I know I did, as I got older. Even as a kid, I kind of understood. Dad was working. When mom worked, she was working. When she wasn't working, she was working at home. She was always working. But whenever my parents, I guess, couldn't give me the attention I wanted, I always pretty much understood, I think. At least that's how I remember it. I have no recollection of ever feeling neglected by my parents at all. They were there the whole time. And they did the best they could. And the truth be told, I feel like the best they did, the best they could do, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Because I'm doing what they did. And I feel like I'm failing every day. My kids are the people that make me feel the best about myself. See, my son Jack, he's not much of a volunteer hugger or kisser. So when he gives me a hug, I know he really means it. And the other day we were watching a show, and he was sitting on my lap, and he just turned to look at me, and he gave me a kiss on my cheek, and then he just kept watching the show. And I knew he meant it, because he doesn't do that to me, you know. He doesn't. Sometimes I'd be like, "Can I have a kiss?" And then he gives me a kiss on the cheek. This was the first and only time so far that he'd done that. And I don't know if he'll ever understand how much that meant to me. And Max is like the greatest self-esteem coach I could ever have. Because he's always saying things to me like, "You're the best dad ever." Or if he wants me to watch a show with him and I'm not busy, I'll say, "Sure, I could watch the show." And then I lie down with him and he says, "This is the best day ever." And I hold on to those moments all the time. I never forget how grateful I am during those moments. And how grateful I should continue to be after those moments. But sometimes I get wrapped up in worry, and I stay there. I think about the future of my family, our home life. Will we ever buy our own house? Will the boys ever have their own room? Are they happy? Will they grow up and have happy, healthy lives? I hope yes is the answer to all those questions. I forget to think about my wife. You know, sometimes I forget to think about my wife because subconsciously I think she's a grown-up, I'm a grown-up, we'll power through. The kids are the ones that really need our attention. And that's true. But we have to make time for each other. For Elena's birthday this past August, we had one day, several hours, just me and her in the city for her birthday. And it's not that we did anything overly extravagant or extra special, but because the day was spent with her, it was special. It is special. And it was a great, great day. I had a wonderful time. And I know she did too. Just the older we get, the less moments we have like that. I'm not sure what's truly going on with her at work. I do know it's stressful, but I don't know the details. I don't ask. And she's definitely not one to volunteer information. Me, I'm just sort of like getting in this place with work where it's fine. Everything's fine. I've gotten into a role where it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. And it's getting kind of boring. I'm trying to move up, but these interviews keep kicking my butt, you know? These internal promotion interviews that I go on, they want you to answer the questions a certain way, a certain style, and if you don't do it that way, you don't get the job, right? Me, my problem is, even as an actor, I always had a hard time memorizing the lines. Sometimes I wouldn't have the lines fully memorized until the day before the show, which is extremely unprofessional, which is why I'm not doing it for a living. Because I was never that good a professional. But I loved it. I remember there was one show I did that I was directing, and one of my actors could not make it to one performance, just one. And that was tough because I got to play that part, which selfishly I've always wanted to play that part, but I also wanted to be better prepared. And you would think because I'm the director of the show, I would know all the lines and everybody's lines. Like, no, I trust my actors to do that. So I'm going based on memory when we did that show, and I had a real great cast of actors with me that were able to bail me out whenever I screwed up or whenever I forgot. That was a great show. That was a great show. The Boys in the Band. That was a great show. But things are getting more busy. Things are getting more intense at work, which is great because we're heading towards Christmas season, so we're gonna make that extra money, overtime money. We're gonna need it too. Oh boy. With everything that's going on in this country, sometimes I just get too tired and numb. I get tired of all the fighting and the hating and the judging and the name calling. And that's not to say that I'm not doing it. I'm part of the problem. I also judge. I also name call. It's really hard not to, you know? As a human being who isn't perfect, it's hard not to resort to name calling. It's so easy. Always got to take that second to resist. And even now, sometimes I say things and put things out there, and it's like, yeah, I knew that wasn't a good idea. Oh man, this idiot, he needed to hear this. But the truth is, he did. He did. Not from me, at least. Who am I? I'm just a regular guy.